So welcome everyone to the webinar. So what I'll do is make a quick introduction explaining what ReachOut is all about, and then I'll take you through a demonstration and create a beta testing campaign using the ReachOut Beta Center so that you see how it works. And the focus of today is also about the what we call the communication package. So at one point during the demonstration, I will focus on this communication package, and however, the structure of the webinar that we do is, in fact, it's quite generic in the sense that we do like to present first the project in slides, like about 10 minutes, and then the demonstration likes about 15 minutes. So what is ReachOut? So ReachOut is a support action which is funded by the European Commission, and our goal is to help projects in mostly in the area of software engineering, but not only, to develop market value and to reach out to their end users. And the way we do this is by developing beta testing campaigns for the projects. So creating values, what we call when we say creating values for research projects, it means more than just producing the project deliverables. So usually projects have some deliverables to do, and there's many more project attributes which can create value for the project results. So I will not list them, but they're here in those on those slides. So beta testing, we think, is the key phase in the software development cycle. So after the initial, what's called alpha version often, or development, then there's a beta version that comes, and this beta version is by definition ready to be tested by external users over some short period of time. So this is what all the beta testing campaign is about. So beta testing campaigns have a number of benefits. So here, there's four that are listed here that we'd like to highlight. So first of all, in a collaborative project or research project, it helps align the partner's expectations for the project partners. So why? Because the object that is being tested, so the beta version, uh, it is a point of convergence of some of the results, and also being able to show the results of the campaign helps align the partners about what they expect from the feedback. Secondly, and of course, the feedback that's provided by the beta testers can be used to increase the quality of the results by providing some bug reports, some feedback, some usability testing. Also, by running a beta testing campaign, the project must enforce some of those other product attributes I was just mentioning. So this includes packaging. The software must be packaged properly. This includes some kind of tutorial or documentation. It includes the fact that the software should be installable or easily accessible in the case it's an online service. You need to provide some support in case your beta testers will need some help from you, and to do some promotion. So all of these product attributes also contribute to the market value of your software. And finally, by getting feedback from the beta testers, it can be very useful to identify some future exploitation of your project results. So what we like to say is, for a project, the fact of being able to develop and to implement the beta testing campaign is an important milestone, and it proves that the project has all what it takes to be able to engage with external actors, to bring value to the market, and to develop their own ecosystem. So just a little bit of history. The reach out coordination and support action is supported by Europe, and so the reason why Europe's supporting us and thus supporting other projects is that they see that often project results are not mature enough. They do not enough go to the market. So this is why they would like to find some ways to be able to make the project results more usable, and the project development more mature. So it's all in this line. And what's important also for you is if you show your project officer that you've used reach out, it's like a bonus point, because it shows that you've done something to be able to reach your users and get closer to your users. So in ReachOut, we've developed a whole 5-stage methodology. I will not show it in detail. It's all on the website. So basically, it's all about, first of all, the strategy. So deciding what the objectives of the campaign are, discussing with the partners. Then it's about technology. So preparing the software for beta testing, the scenario, the questionnaire. Then it's all about writing documentation and communicating communication material so that the beta testers will be made aware of your campaign. And then there's the actual campaign itself with promotion action and reaching out to beta testers, engaging with them. And finally, you have a last step, which is getting the results, making something out of them, and producing a report. So in Reach Out, our what we've done is we've set up a whole set of tools which are ready and prepared for you to use. So we provide the tools and the templates for each of those building blocks. That's the role of what we call the Reach Out Beta Center, and you'll see them all in the demonstration in a minute. So the entry point is the homepage. So when you register on the Beta Center, you have your own campaign manager homepage where you can access the resources. You can edit your project description, create and edit your campaigns, and then you can access the questionnaire and your dashboard. So the campaign web page itself is the thing that the beta tester will be able to see. So you just provide some information in the form that we provide, then it generates a campaign page. And together with the campaign page, we also generate the questionnaire, which I'll go to in a minute. And we also generate a mailing list, which can be used to interact with the beta testers if you want to. We've also developed something called a monitoring dashboard. So it's a self-evaluation dashboard made of 24 points, which can help you through the preparation, the management, the execution of the campaign. This is typically something that we can look up together. So during the execution of the campaign, we can plan to have little checkpoints where we can go through the dashboard to make sure that you haven't forgotten anything. Then there's the questionnaire itself. So when a campaign is created, ReachOut generates a questionnaire. It's based on a template that we've put together, which contains a mix of closed and open questions. It's completely customizable. You can remove questions, reword questions, add questions. We can help you to do this as well. And so every time the beta tester provides feedback, then the campaign manager receives an email, and through the questionnaire software, you can also have access to all the responses through a dashboard with either statistics and pie charts, like at the bottom here, or graphs. And you can export the responses any format you want. So it's based on the Lime survey software. And there's more templates and tools on the website. There's a checklist for the documentation. There's a communication package, which I will show you in more detail later on. We also provide you with fine prints, so GDPR notices, agreements, etc. And at the end, we can also help you with producing a report, which can either be used uh, internally in the project, or which you could also show to your project officer in the case of a review or something. So regarding the timeline, so depending on how much time you've got, so I see that some of you are in a hurry. So what we think is, you in the preparation phase, to define the goals, prepare the software, the documentation, and build a contact list. You would be able to, or you should spend between 1 to 2 months. This can be shortened depending on how much you've already got ready. Then there's the campaign itself, and the recruitment of the beta testers together. So maybe we can think that this will last 1 or 2 months, and to complete the results about 1 month. So in total, it could be anything between 3 months and 5 months, depending on your level of readiness. And of course, as I said, if you've got some of those items already ready, we can shorten that, of course. So how do you get started? Basically, the first step is to go to the website, which we'll go through in a minute, and register your project. And then what happens is, as I said, prior to doing this or after, We can set up a call with you to go through the whole methodology, the timeline. We can also, if you just want to evaluate, just evaluate. If you need to, as I said, we can run a quick presentation during one of your plenary meetings if you want to. And then once you get started, you've got access to all the templates. You can set up the campaigns, uh, and and we can help you together define the promotion plan, how you're going to reach the beta testers. So one important thing to note, which is not on the slides, is that because we're a support action, it's free. So it's all free. You don't owe us any money. It's all free for H2020 projects. It's also open to European SMEs. It's also open to open source projects. So please don't hesitate. We're here to help. That's what Europe is basically paying us for. So that's it for the slides. And now what I propose is to go through the demonstration. So in the demonstration, I will just give you a quick look at the website. So on the website, you've got the Better Center, in which you find a number of resources. In the What is ReachOut webpage, you have a very short video here to explain to you what the project is. We also have an FAQ. There's the full reach out methodology. So the full reach out methodology has got a set of slides, which is an extended set of slides compared to the ones I've presented. There's a whole methodology as a document as well, if you want to have a look at it. And as I said, there's the tools and templates. So in the tools and templates that you can discover, there's the detailed slides about the various tools that we offer. There's some information about the monitoring dashboard, about software packaging, about documentation, about beta tester incentives. So what kind of incentives you could give to your beta testers, about the beta testing agreement and the fine prints, um, the about the communication package, which I'll show after the demo, and there's information here about the structure of the questionnaire, so that this gives you the current structure of the questionnaire, which, as I said, can be completely customized, and also the reporting package. So that's for the tools and templates. There's more information listing all the building blocks in the glossary. There's a number of tutorials here. So this is typically where you will be able to find the video of this presentation once it's been recorded and put on the website. And uh, and there's also the factory, which is a tool that we offer to package the software, the list of webinars as you saw, and a newcomer on the website is the Hall of Fame, where upon agreement of the beta testers who've responded, and if they want to, we can put their name here. So usually they react quite nicely and they're quite happy that we recognize their work. Right. So here you've also got information about the project itself, about the consortium, the contacts as well, about all the consents and fine prints. So that's where we are. So let's just imagine now that I'm from ReachOut. It just happens that I want to do a campaign about ReachOut. Why not? So what I just need to do is to register. So I click on the project leader button, and it tells me, oh, you're a project leader. You can register. It's all self-service. So if I click on register, I just need to put my name here, and I just have to give an email. So I will just give a fake email for this purpose. I can say that I'm in France. I'm going to create my username, and I input some password here for the sake of this demonstration. There we go. And trust me, I've read the informed consent, and then I can type in this captcha if I can read it, and I register. So once I register, it tells me that I've received an email message with my credential to finish the registration. So if I check the emails here, I've received an email, so I just click on activation. This will activate my account, and then I'll be able to log in with the login name, the username I've just entered, and the password, and um, and that's it. So here, what we try to do is make it as simple as possible for projects and project leaders. So the first step you arrive is your homepage, and on my homepage here, what I can do is I can create a new project. So just a little bit of vocabulary. For a project, you can have several campaigns, of course. You could have several campaigns because different work packages propose different soft pieces of software, or because you will have different versions of your software. So here, in my case, let's just pretend I'm doing a project which is called the October 2020 ReachOut webinar. And when I create the project, I have to enter some information which will then be displayed. So I'll give the URL of the project. I can input some logo here, uh, and I've got web. I've got this logo here, which I can put. I can put a short description and a long description. So I've got it all prepared before, and I can save the project. So the project is like, if you like, an umbrella. So this is what will be displayed on the reach out page. And then what I can do is I can create a new campaign. So we have currently four types of questionnaires. So the questionnaire I mentioned, we've slightly changed the wording differently for if it's a SaaS service, if it's a mobile application, or if it's a software project in general. And we've also got a fourth type, which is the agri-food use cases. That's because we've worked together with a project called IOF 2020 in Internet of Food and Farms, and they have some 30 odd use cases, all related to agriculture. And of course, the questions will be slightly different in their case. So here, let's just say it's a SaaS service because that's what ReachOut is all about. And I can give a campaign name, which is testing the ReachOut platform. So I create the campaign. When I create the campaign, as I said before, it takes me to the campaign form. So I can give a start date, let's say today. I can give an end date, let's say end of the year. This can be changed later on. I can indicate how long I think this is going to take. So this is important to tell beta testers how long you think uh, they will take. And then I can give some campaign objectives. So here I've got some objectives here. There's a syntax. We can help you through the syntax. Usually we send the project the campaign managers a, the documentation about how to input bullet points, links, etc. So we can give you help on this. Then I need to tell who this campaign is for. So in our case, it's for any type, business users or developers, and it's okay for beginners. And then I need to provide some requirements for the campaign. So typically, it's either an external page if you have some, or it would be a list. If in case of software, do you need to have some particular version of Maven or Java or particular type of memory on your computer, or data on hand, things like this. Then what's very important is you need to give the beta testers a scenario. You cannot tell beta testers, please test my software, it's here. You have to, in order to have some feedback, you should really give the beta testers instructions about what they should do, what the scenario should be. So register here, log in there, enter the data, go to this screen, etc., etc. So here I've got it prepared. So basically, this is what we're doing now in terms of instructions. And if you have an external page on your an external documentation page or scenario page, you can put the link to that page. And the last item is to provide incentives for your campaign. So a few words about incentives. So we reach out, have got some funding to provide some incentives. So there's going to be at the end of the reach out project, which ends at the end of 2021. There's going to be a lottery. So all of the participants who fill in the questionnaire and put their email address, if they put their email address, they'll be able to participate in the lottery. Also, you yourself might have some goodies, some T-shirts. So we've had the case, is that correct? I think it was T-shirts, stamp T-shirts in the case of the stamp campaign, Olivier. And so if you have other goodies, mugs, or whatever, or prizes as part of your project budget, you can reward the beta testers for that. And we're introducing at the moment in Reach Out the fact that we're going to give a money prize uh, to the uh, to the beta testers who answer. So I don't think the details are completely set yet, but we'll set up a money prize for the beta testers. So when we will have this official, we'll put it on the website. So typically, a beta tester who returns a full questionnaire, completely answered, will be rewarded some money, and um, will adjust the price depending on the complexity of what has to be tested. So then I can save the campaign. When I do this, what it does behind the scene is it generates the questionnaire, and then you're being given access to your campaign page. So at this stage, the campaign is not published. It's not public. You can still make modifications, and so this gives you a preview of what it would look like with the bullet points and the links, etc. So you can do some corrections if you want to. It gives you also the link of the mailing list, which we just created, where the beta testers will be able to register, and you will be able to interact with them, or they will be able to ask you questions. So you can edit the campaign details if you want to, and you can also uh, and you should customize and activate the associated questionnaire. So if you click on this one, it takes you to the software that runs the questionnaires. So I'm using the um, my my identifier, which I have just done, and here I can visualize the structure and all the questions which have been generated, which are generic questions about reach out. So at any time, what I can do is I can preview the entire survey or preview the question group. So let's just click on here, preview the question group. So this tells me there's two questions. Did you manage to access and set up the software, and how would you rate the setup? You can change, you can modify the wording. There's one question. So there's a set of questions which we group: one for setup, one for functional feedback, one for user experience, one for the next steps, and one for a summary, just the generic overview, and the last one for the profiling of the user. So each of those 34 questions you can delete, you can change, you can modify. And so let's just take an example here. So there's a question here which says, following the steps described in the scenario, were you able to execute function X, function Y, function Z to be customized? So let's just do it for the sake of the demonstration. So I'm not editing the actual, sorry, I'm not editing the actual question here. What I need to edit is the what's called the following the steps is the sub question. Sorry, I was trying to look for the button. So in terms of function, were you able to create a new project? Were you able to create a campaign? And were you able to customize the questionnaire? And then I can save and close. And so you can review all the questions. As I said again, there's a list of questions. There's a document providing you with a list of questions that we generate already. If you need some help, we're also here to help. So we can do that for you. And once you're finished, what you can do is you go back to the main point, and you can activate the survey. So it asks you, do you want to activate the survey? Do you want the timestamps to be recorded? And you just save and activate the survey. So now the survey is active. So if I go back to my home page, I will be able to see that the survey is active here. It's got a start date and an end date. There's a little Twitter button here. If you want to tweet about your campaign, there's a tweet that's already prepared. And so this is what the beta testers well, this is not what the beta testers will see because it's your own private view, because you can still edit the campaign and customize the questionnaire. But if I open another browser, and if I go to if I sorry if I go if I open another browser and I go to ReachOut without being logged in, I will be able to see now in the campaigns. There should be a 2020 October ReachOut webinar, which is this one. And then being anonymous here, what I can do is I can fill in the feedback questionnaire. So it takes you through all the questions, and then so that it takes a little bit of time. But did I manage? Yes. And then it shows you the question. So some questions are compulsory. They've got a little red star. Some of them are not. So this is also an attribute which you can um, which you can change. Which just let me just write test here. And then so all again, all of these questions are customizable. Let me just fill in the questions, the answer, sorry, so that we can see later on that what the view will be back when we're back in Lime Survey for the campaign manager. So am I interested? I'm not. Do you want that? Do I want to know more? No, I already know about it. Do I want to explore further, etc.? Have I shared it? Yes. And then we get through uh, the summary. What's most confusing? I don't know. And what's the overall impression? So as you can see, it's a mix of open question and closed question. So when we've designed this questionnaire, we did some research about what the best way of question is. So I must admit, 34 questions is typically a maximum. So don't hesitate uh, to delete some of those questions, and then I submit the answers. So if I go back to being playing the role of the campaign manager, I go to my campaign here. What I can do is take a look at the responses and statistics. So I've got the statistics here. So I've only got one answer. So in the simple mode, I've got a simple. You can also have an expert mode, but in the simple mode, I'll be able to see some graphs about the answers here. For open questions, of course, it's not visible as a graph, but you can visualize the questions here by displaying them. And so this is the one-line display of my answer. And you can also export the responses in a number of formats, which is described here. So that's also quite interesting. If I go back to my mailbox, I'll be able to see that somebody has submitted a response. So it's quite interesting for you, because then you'll be able, if you want to reach out to that user, if they provided an email address, and you'll get the responses live as they arrive, which can be quite interesting. Right. So that's for that's typically for the functional aspects of it. Um, just a quick word about the dashboard. So the dashboard, as I said, is a self-service uh, it's a self-service dashboard, and typically what you should be doing is making sure that you go through all the steps. So do you have a clear goal, a clear scope for each item? We give you also a little checkbox here. Um, so if I fill in the questions here, have I, for example, have you appointed internal beta testers? Well, yes or no. You can put this here. Are they really identified? Have you ordered some of the incentives? It's in progress. And then did you define the scenario, etc. So it's basically all the points that I've mentioned. So this check this dashboard helps you uh, make sure that you haven't forgotten anything. So have I done some promotion actions? Well, in the case of ReachOut, I have. Have I got questionnaires returned? I'm not sure how far I have. And this is getting towards the place where you're running the campaign. So did you do some analysis? No, I haven't. I haven't done any reporting. Haven't reported feedback, etc. So when you save the dashboard, it gives you a quick information about where you are and how ready you are. So this is something that we can go through together as well. So finally, I'll go through the communication package. So if you go to the tools and templates, and if you go to here the communication package, you will see that we've prepared a number of emails and tweets and information to make life easier for you. So the first one is the announcement email. So typically when you want to reach out to beta testers, you should send them a message. So we've prepared here a template which you can customize and which you can get inspiration from. A couple words about how to recruit beta testers. So typically you, the project, have a good knowledge of who your ecosystem is. So that's so we expect that you will be able to have a source of beta testers. Also, what we give, so besides external users from your project, you shouldn't underestimate the fact that you could have beta tester within the project. So maybe each project partner has a reach to people who maybe are not involved in the project but who are in the company, so that, or in the university. So students, for example, are a good source of beta testers for software in general, especially if you tell them that they are going to receive some money prize. So they'd be a good source of beta testers. Um, and so that's the first source, is your project and your ecosystem. A second source, of course, is ReachOut itself. So by using the ReachOut services, there's kind of a moral engagement that you will be willing in the future to provide some beta testers as well. So what we do, we the ReachOut team, when there's a new campaign that's registered, we send a promotion to all the other projects who've already registered in the past, and it's sort of um, asking them to give a little bit of their time in terms of beta testing for new coming projects. So that's another source as well. In terms of reaching out to beta testers, there's also a couple tweets here that we provide. So for the campaign page, where I put some information before, we've prepared here some information which you can get inspiration from in order to explain what the campaign is all about, why beta testers should join the campaign, what their benefits could be, and information about the support. We've also provide you with a number of tweets here, depending on whether you would like to emphasize on the optimization of the working environment, enhancing user experience, etc. We've got a little piece for ourselves. So when we see that the campaign is reaching its end, we'll get back to you guys to look at the metrics and prepare the report. Also, an interesting thing is that even though flyers at the moment are not very useful because you cannot distribute them in many physical events, because physical events are not COVID friendly, you may want to produce some flyers. So we provide you with here with a structure of the flyer. This is the example of the flyer that was done for the stamp campaign. So if you need help for producing a flyer, there's some information here, and we can also help you. And finally, there's a thank you email and a thank you email with feedback missing for beta testers. So you may want to thank the beta testers for their help. We also will contact the beta testers. So we monitor the answers that are coming back, and we contact them to see whether they want to be in the Hall of Fame, and also to ask them for information to display them. To give them to give them the money price if they gave their email address, and also if you want to reach out to them to ask some more questions. So basically that's it for the demonstration. as well as the focus on the communication package. So don't hesitate to get started. You can register, create your own project and campaign. Also, we're here to help you. So if you want us to do a private session with you or to explore for your project how we could help you set up the campaign, reach out to your beta testers. We're here to help. So don't hesitate to ask for help. And again, it's all free.